I am a 1996 graduate of the Wayne County Schools Career Center of the Culinary Arts Program. My home school that I came from was Chippewa. I am the owner of Sif Bakehouse in Sarasota, Florida, as well as my flagship store, which is 50 Donut Co. Currently, we're located just on the southwest coast of Florida. We have 3, soon to be 4 locations. I am the owner and CEO of this 100% woman-owned business, and we hope to expand into the Tampa Bay area within the next year. The guidance counselor told me about the career day at the Career Center. My last class of the day was culinary, arts, and Mr. Burkall had everybody decorate a cookie. And whoever decorated the best cookie got to decorate a cake. And I was in the very last group of the day that was coming through, and he had pretty much already made his mind up about the students that he wanted to come in. And then I came through in the very last group, and I decorated a cookie, and his students, they picked my cookie, so I got to stay and decorate a cake, but I had to do it very quickly because the bus was leaving. And they said they got me to decorate it OSU because Mr. Burkall loved Michigan. And so I very quickly decorated an awesome cake. Came out really good, and that's honestly the first time I'd ever decorated a cake, and it came out like really good. And then next thing you know, I was told when we went in that program was full, and then I was told the next day that I got into the program. But I did some skills competitions. I went to out of regional to state both years. I got scholarships in Johnson & Wales and Providence, and I was like, oh, college. Okay, I'll go. It was kind of one of those things that was like, I'm from a tiny town in Doylestown, and there's 6 kids in my family, and college just wasn't something that everybody talked about. And I was like, I'll go. You're giving me money. Like, what else can I get to pay for it to go? And then I got some financial aid and had to take some loans, but I ended up being able to go to Providence, Rhode Island, to Johnson & Wales, the main campus, which is culinary school. And I did that I did the 4-year degree. Like when I was in Mr. Burkall's class, I just seized every opportunity that I could. I kind of was thinking it's an opportunist thing, but it's not. And it's not luck, because I feel like luck is preparation meeting opportunity. I always just looked at it as the more you kind of accept opportunities, the more opportunities come to you. And that's kind of just what has happened. And when I was at Johnson & Wales, I had an opportunity to work on demos. We would have celebrity chefs come to town. So I actually worked with Julie Child at one of her last demos, 2 or 3 years before she passed away. Wolfgang Puck was at my graduation. Emerald Agas came there multiple times. I did a couple of demos with him. So it's just kind of like where you place yourself in opportunities, it just grew from there. And so you just learn and then make connections. And that's kind of how I feel like going to the Career Center just opened like connections to me. You see what I'm saying? So like it opened doors. It didn't open doors. It showed me doors, and it was up to me to open them or not. I didn't have any kind of mentorship for my future until I met Mr. Burkall. And it's so funny because when I was with Mr. Burkall, I did the pastry competitions, and I kind of did a bakery in the doorway right by his office, and I'd set up a table, and that's how I earned money to pay for our trip to Chicago. And I really did bread, and he had a donut shop, which is funny. I always refused to work at it because I wanted to get up that early in the morning when I was in high school. And now I have 3, soon to be 4 donut shops, and I get up most days at 3, 4 in the morning. So now I own 50 Donut Co, and it's actually my 5th business. If I would stay still or stagnant in where I was, then I wouldn't have had like the internal growth or the ability to grow and build like I do now. I wouldn't have had it. I wouldn't have had that skill if I hadn't started with the Career Center. So that's just a large part of like where I am today. And I was really thinking about it. People are asking me, and I get asked these questions a lot, especially people who are interested. I'm 100% owned by myself, 100% funded by myself, and not many people can say that, especially not very many women can say that. And it's intense and it's hard, but I had a lot of men or companies come to me and they ask me, how did you start? Like, how did you And it really honestly would always come back to, I started when I was in high school. And I don't think since I started when I was 16 in the Suburban Cross Kitchen, I don't think I've ever stopped. Like I literally just started and then I just kept going. And there was no stopping. Like there were pauses, but there was no stopping. And so for me, I think that's a really large part of it. So, and the main thing that I learned with Mr. Burkhaw, I think, and in the culinary program in general, was he taught me something that I find myself holding my staff to all the time. He looked me right in the eye, and I can't remember his exact words, and he fingered me, and he's like, take responsibility. And that was kind of it. And he taught me personal responsibility and integrity in work and all of that. And it was something that sorry mom, but like my parents never taught me. Like most parents don't teach that. Like it's not something you think about when you're just raising a kid. And when I went into that situation where he did that to me and scared the crap out of me, one, but like number two, it was kind of a recurring theme until I got it. And it was just something that I took with me. And I even to my staff this day, and all I ask for, the basis of all my good staff that I keep is that personal responsibility. Just take responsibility for your mistakes and also take responsibility for your successes. And so that's just a major part of who I am because of how he pushed me into that. I don't even think he realizes that to this day. I don't think we ever had a conversation. And it was just a large part of like what really stuck with me.